Splitboarding provides some incredible opportunities to explore beyond the resort boundaries, but it comes with inherent risk. Knowing how to identify and move through potential avalanche terrain is an essential backcountry skill. One of the biggest safety elements and indicators that are used in the backcountry for safe passage is the shape of the terrain. Anything that's steeper has obviously got more avalanche risk, because gravity's pulling on it harder. If we're going to go up this slope, we want to take the easiest line for the sake of using as little energy as we can, but also we want to take the safest line. We want to try and avoid going into anything that's supporting a steep slope. We want to try and avoid going into terrain traps where if anything was to slide it would accumulate and follow that route. So we're going to zigzag up here, staying on this flatter ground, stay on the rise there and follow the natural flow of the terrain up and over the top. Whilst on the ascent, occasionally we may have to cross something that's a little steeper and there's a little more risk. So here we're going to take a change in aspect and a change in angle. So what we're going to do is we're going to spread out so that we're not both on the slope at the same time. And also I want to have someone over here with line of sight on the slope if it was potentially to slide. Okay Rob, I'm safe now, you can come across. I'm constantly looking at and assessing the terrain that I'm moving through, but there are 5 red flags that are especially on my mind. So here we have the shapes on the top of the snow here called sastrugi, and this shows us which way the wind's been blowing. So even if we haven't got wind, we'd be able to tell which way the wind was blowing when the snow came. All the points point into the wind, so anything that's facing over that way is going to have scoured, and the other side is where the snow's been blown to, and it's wind-blown snow which packs in tighter and can create slab conditions. So it's a very good sign and a very good indicator of where the more dangerous slopes are, where the safer slopes are. So we're just getting some slight cracking in the snow here now. You see that between my feet. That's a sign that this snow's had a bit of wind effect. At the moment it's not too bad, it's very soft, but it's something that we need to be aware of as we're going higher up the mountain. We've got an obvious avalanche activity here. One here and one up here. They both have similar characteristics. They both are between 35 and 40 degrees, which is a real key angle for avalanche. They're both lee slopes that are protected from the wind. There's a sliding layer on both slopes and it's easily been triggered and easily slid. It's very shallow at the moment, so the risk is quite low. If this gets buried by more snowfall, then obviously this is a very dangerous sliding layer that will make future activity a lot more serious. Fresh snowfall on its own without wind can be really, really good. You're really soft, really good to ride. Anything above 30 centimeters, the pure weight of the snow on the ground can release avalanches en masse. So if we have wind and fresh snow together, then we have a serious avalanche risk. Even days after snowfall, the wind can move the snow and create avalanche risk that wasn't there when the snow came in the first place. Another major red flag obviously is temperature rise. If the temperature goes up, then the moisture in the snowpack increases and the mass of the snowpack, the weight of the snowpack increases. As the slope gets heavier, it can release en masse. So rising temperatures are a real serious thing to watch out for, especially later in the season. Also, early on in the season, cold temperatures can affect the snowpack. It has the opposite effect where it dries the snowpack out, and that crystallizes the snow crystals so they don't bond together.